it's Candicia and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to winterize your hair regimen. So as you guys may or may not know, I live in Canada and our fall and winters tend to be very on the cold side. So I'm going to be telling you guys some of my personal tips of how I deal with these winter months with my curly hair. So the first tip that I have in order to winterize your hair regimen is to use heavier butters and oils. So by using heavier butters and oils, you're going to give your hair extra moisture and also seal in the moisture that your hair needs in order for it to combat these cold and winter months. My favorite heavier oils and butters to use is coconut oil and avocado oil. I tend to use a lot of avocado oil especially during the fall months, and then switch over to coconut butter into the winter months. And for butters, I use a lot of commercial butters. I'll leave them in the description bar below as to what exactly I use. But by using these heavier butters and heavier oils, you're giving your hair all this extra moisture, which will help in order to combat these winter months. My second tip, it would be to use protective styles and low manipulation hairstyles. So protective styles and low manipulation hairstyles are designed to protect your hair from the elements of outside by sealing and tucking away your ends, especially because your ends are the most fragile part of your hair and they tend to get dry the most. And by protecting your ends, you're going to basically retain length and also promote healthy hair growth. Some protective styles are braids, sew-in weaves, crochet braids. You can also, for low manipulation hairstyles, you can also use buns, either a low bun or a high bun. You can also use turbans and head wraps, which are my personal favorite. Anything that's really going to tuck away your hair from the outside. Even using twists is also a great way of protecting your hair. A lot of people tend to add extra moisture while they're doing these kinds of hairstyles, which is also a great way of giving your hair that extra time for it to soak in all of the moisture and all of the goodness that comes from your oils and your butters and your different healthy hair products, so then you can get the maximum benefit from it. So another tip that I have in order to winterize your hair regimen is to deep condition once a week. So by deep conditioning once a week, not only are you promoting healthy hair growth, but you're also giving your hair the extra moisture it needs that normal conditioners don't tend to give you. There's different ways to deep condition. Some people deep condition in the shower, which I personally like to do since I don't have a lot of time, which by that I use the Aussie 3-Minute Miracle, which I tend to put on in the shower and while I do like my other showerly things, and I just let it sit in my hair. Another way you can deep condition, some people put a baggie or a type of hair cap over their hair by having deep conditioner on their hair, and they just let it sit anywhere between a half an hour to sometimes an hour to 2 hours, and that's also a great way of deep conditioning. Another way to deep condition is sometimes overnight. So if you find that your hair is very, very dry and very brittle and damaged, some people like to deep condition overnight because they find that their hair gets the optimal amount of moisture while they're sleeping. So by doing that, by placing a baggie or again a hair cap over their hair while having the conditioner on their hair while they're sleeping, a lot of people like to do that as well. So that really all depends on how much moisture your hair needs, and basically looking at the directions of your deep conditioner on the bottle or on the product will definitely give you an indication as to how long you need to deep condition for. So another great tip in the winter months is to use either the LOC, the lock method, or the LCO method. So by the lock method, which is what I use, L stands for liquid, O stands for oil, and C stands for cream. So when I get out of the shower after washing my hair once a week, I basically just dry my hair with a cotton t-shirt, just by a little bit, not to make it soaking, but just in order for it to be damp. And then I go in with my oil, which my favorite oil at the moment is avocado oil. So I tend to pass that along through my hair, and then I use a cream. So by creams, I tend to use leave-in conditioners and a styler. Now you don't have to use two of these products. Some people just like to use a styler, some people just like to use a leave-in conditioner, but I tend to use both just because I find my hair tends to like having both of those products. So basically by using these two products, I transition as to what particular product I use during each time of the season. So during the fall season, I tend to use leave-in conditioners and stylers that have a lighter and waterier, like a more watery texture. And the reason why is because it's not as cold, so your hair doesn't need something as heavy as a butter. Especially for my curl type, it tends to weigh down the hair a lot if I use a butter like every single day. So I tend to use lighter consistency products during the milder seasons, and then during the winter and like going into January, February, I tend to use heavier stylers and heavier leave-in conditioners. So by really just paying attention to the weather and paying attention to what kind of consistency of a product that you use in your hair can definitely help your hair get the moisture it needs, but then also get the optimal benefit of the product that you're using. So these are all my tips for how to winterize your hair regimen. I hope these tips are helpful to you guys, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!